Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers, he's bringing a change to the New York Jets organization. There's been a lot of talk because of the way that he's been showing ambition and more encouragement in the Hard Knocks. If you watch HBO series, HBO Hard Knocks, they have the New York Jets being featured this season here. And it's been pretty good so far. This week was episode 3. My boy Aaron Rodgers is saying some things and he's been inspired. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, the players too. I want you to watch it for yourself. I don't want to give away a whole lot, but it's something really good to catch on to. And this NFL season, you can see the way that it's breaking down, as I said, instead of developing, it's breaking down because you start to see where different talent is and where the commitment is with different players. Teams that are willing to risk it with new and experienced players instead of players that are worth and that have experience and the talent to do what they got to do, the skills. The ones that already know the playbook are the ones that these organizations are giving a hard time instead of embracing them for their production and doing things out there. So you're going to have teams that are going to have unhappy players. Unhappy players lead to bad production. Everybody on the New York Jets appears to be signed and well. They finished all of their contracts. The New York Giants, I can't say the same. It's not as if Daniel Jones stepped out there and tried to tell the organization to stop dragging it with the situation with Saquon Barkley, because that's the main guy right there next to him. You know, Batman and Robin. And basically, this is something that should not have gone as far as it did before he signed and closed the deal with the New York Giants. We have guys out here that's still not satisfied or taken care of. Jonathan Taylor's not the only one in Indiana. However, it's just a sad situation. Also, I mean, the way that the Cowboys departed with Ezekiel Elliott, it was more of like Ezekiel, he didn't make a deal out of it, a big deal out of it or a problem. He just went on to find a new deal along with the New England Patriots. And that's where he's going to have new life. You know, it wasn't the same for everybody. Look, Dalvin Cook, Minnesota cut him and he went on to the New York Jets, a place where he's needed, where he fits in. You know, all of these players, I don't think they have in mind to go somewhere else, or they want something more for the time that they put in and the work that they put in to make these teams strong as they are, or have the shots that they do to even try to win a title or attract new talent that would want to play there to put them in a position to win a title, you know, to make the fans happy, which I think would be the number one goal, is to make the fans happy, because the fans are the ones that's spending the money. So, NFL, we're going to have some teams that are going to be good. I'm going to tell you quickly. I'm going to run through some. I'm going to give you a better breakdown next week. This week right here, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills already in week 1. We're just going to talk about week 1 only. Week 1 right here, you're going to have Carolina and Atlanta. You're going to have Bryce Young leading Carolina Panthers into town against the Atlanta Falcons. And Tyler Henke, you're going to go with him. Desmond Ritter, the 24-year-old Desmond Ritter. He's hoped to have a better season this year than he did last year. He has Bijan Robinson, the new addition from Alabama, added to the squad this year. along with Cal Pitts and Cordell Patterson. So these guys have some pieces down in Atlanta. So in the AFC South, in the NFC South, they can try to make some things happen down there. But we're going to see, because it's going to be a test right here, going up against Bryce Young and this new Carolina Panthers team that's been put together. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow still out, so we're going to have to see what happens there. We have time between now and next week. Next week I'll give you more of a breakdown since the season doesn't officially start until that day after anyway, so I can talk to you more on about next Sunday. However, this Thursday, let's concentrate on Detroit and Kansas City. The Detroit Lions, this year, they've been trying to put the pieces together, and they've been looking sort of okay in the preseason. They're going to have Jared Goff with Hendon Hooker and Teddy Bridgewater on the roster. Hendon Hooker can take over on this team at any time because Hendon Hooker, very talented guy from Tennessee Volunteers, star quarterback last season. And as you guys noticed, he was pretty quick on his feet and he gets active. The only thing needed was just during the season, his tendencies to get a little nervous because the line started to break down. It wasn't as much coverage. So these were vulnerable things that teams need to address when trying to build winning squads and trying to accomplish certain goals, especially protect the quarterback. We're going to see what happens between Hendon Hooker and Jared Goff over there. But Teddy Bridgewater should definitely be the third guy out of that bunch here. We're going to have the Kansas City. You already know who's there. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And the problem right now in Kansas City is they're trying to get Jones. Trying to make sure that they get my man this money, his bread, because Chris Jones is working. Chris Jones goes out there and he puts his work in. He's one of the reasons why they've been winning. And it's not a joke. This team won't be winning without this man being as aggressive as he is and playing the way that he does to make his presence known and felt on that football field. We're talking about a 6'6", 310 guy that's been earning his paycheck. So why not give it to him and show him some love right there, right? A lot of bullshit be going on sometimes behind the scenes with these organizations. They don't want to just pay a person what they're worth, and they know that they need them. They want the player to beg them to keep them up when the player is out there putting in work and producing. I can see if the guys aren't producing. However, these squads need to settle these scores with these players and make it happen. Make it happen. That's all I can tell you. In the NFL right now, we'll have a breakdown next week. However, I'll tell you ahead of time, they're saying Jordan Love is looking good out in Green Bay. So he has Romeo Dobbs and a few guys out there that were trying to get the system down pat last year under the wing of Aaron Rodgers, who's now with the Jets, and Jordan Love. He's shown some really good signs of life out in Green Bay, and people are liking it. He's really showing up. So we're going to see if that translates now to the regular season, since this will be his first starting season officially, not the preseason that we all just watched. It's going to be something different because the preseason don't count. The regular season do. We're going to have teams going for gusto. Pittsburgh, they're going to be trying to play their hearts out this season. They have a lot to prove. Washington Redskins, I don't know. Washington Commanders, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sleep on them, but I'm not going to give them the most credit. Trash. Minnesota Vikings not going to be, as special. They're vulnerable now. They've been exposed. Cincinnati, as I said, no Joe Burrow. They're going to struggle somewhat, even though they have Jamar Chase. If the offense can keep up and keep a certain level of play, in the meantime, maybe some things can happen. But I don't see it happening that first week against Cleveland with a healthy Deshaun Watson and the team ready to go. At home in Cleveland. It's going to be such situation. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's going to be very good business. Alright, so basically, just look forward for Miami to try to get a good game in against Los Angeles. But we'll see what happens with Tua and Jalen Waddle over there in Miami, along with Kareem Hunt. So these guys are pretty lucky. Tyreek Hill. Now, Dallas and New York in the first week. That's interesting. This is going to show and set a pace for the season and for where we can go. Because, Dallas has been building up, and they've been just, adding pieces and getting themselves to a certain level where they can be proud to say that they want to compete for a championship this year. And the thing about it is they're in the same division as the New York Giants. And this division that they're in, the NFC East, is a tough division, very tough division. It's always usually tough, don't get it wrong. That's one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest, always. For some reason, ironically, it just happens. Okay, now, New York Giants, Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, those four teams, right there, they always seem to go through it. And this year, if they're saying Dallas is supposed to be all of that, then this would leave only one spot for the wild card or for the next better playing team if they do what they're supposed to do, because division leaders get to move on, especially the ones that do the best, and they get to have bye weeks and such. According to ranking, Dallas and Philadelphia have high expectations of them. The New York Giants are still not so much under the radar, but they're going to have expectations of them to keep up the pace and see what happens now, especially with them only giving Saquon Barkley a one-year deal for $10 million. Of excuse me, 11 million plus 2 million for incentives and such like that. But they're gonna have to make some moves or improve somehow also. So that's gonna be what happens there. In the NFC South with New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the Carolina Panthers, Atlanta could win this. Atlanta could win this if they play really great football, but I don't see these guys just being the number one unless they really won it, because they were disappointing last year where they could have taken number one in the end. However, I understand Tom Brady was there and these guys are playing, but to get intimidated, it came down to, I think, the last week or two, and they lost that spot because they were doing good. Atlanta was doing good. I was on the Cardinals, believing in Kyler Murray still, so you can see what Kyler Murray's going to bring when the season starts next week. We're going to have more of an NFL show and more information about what you should do, more helpful tips, more information about who to look for and what to expect when the season begins on September 10th. Because really it starts prior on that Thursday with the game between the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's gonna be the first game on September 7th. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. Don Boy 718 to the world. Don Boy, got a lot of love for y'all, so y'all should have a lot of love for us. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, tell your friends, connect with us, subscribe. You know, DONBOY space 718. All right. Peace, blessings. Sports is life, and life is sports. You know it. Blessings.